Northwest County officials meeting, April 20th.
In your packets, there was correspondence for the Northwest Kansas County officials meeting. I just need to know who is going. If you're
I can on it on a Wednesday.
on a Wednesday,
Yeah.
okay. If you plan on attending, just sign your name and I will get that back to Thomas County. It will be held Wednesday, April the 20th at the college. K-Camp and K-Work are sponsoring the lunch. We used to have to pay a small $10, $12 for dinner, but we don't anymore. So that's all
Okay.
correspondence for that.
And the DSN WK agreement.
Okay, I have received this in the mail the other day. Here is the developmental services audit for your review. And then the new contract for next year.
And I reviewed the contract. Deb sent that to me ahead of time, and I did not have any legal concerns about it.
Okay. Standard with last year.
Mm-hmm.
Any opposition from signing this?
No,
Okay.
And that was in your packet also. If you
that's exactly what we budgeted for,
Okay.
so.
This is one of the same, I take it?
Right, there's a copy to send back and a copy to keep in our files. Mhm.
Change your binder.
Right. Here is a binder for Star Aviation and on the airport up there. You made the payment for the insurance policy last time, and that just needs approval and a signature as well.
How'd the next gen 911 kick off? Pretty good, Eric?
Yeah.
No hitches?
No, nothing serious. Some issues with the recorder. The recorder doesn't want, the nice recorder doesn't want to play nice. So we're kind of working through that. I think Cody can maybe tell you a little more about. I think he's got a little more heads up on what he's going to do there.
Yeah.
And the CAD system is not exactly cooperating, but it does work. Global wanted to charge a pretty large, well, they both wanted to charge a large amount of money to come out here.
So our IT guy was able to take care of it?
Pretty much.
Good.
Who has to sign this?
We have to make a motion for $1,000 to approve expenditure.
Oh, this is an increase?
No, I don't think it's an increase, it's just.
No.
I took it that was what it calls.
Okay.
It's just the binder, the aviation binder.
Yeah. I make a motion that we accept the binder from IMA for airport insurance in the amount of $994. Oh, 12, there it is. $1,214.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same time?
There's an area for a signature in the last page. I'm not sure if the clerk signs that or if you
Some of those had 3 signatures, some of them.
I'll see over. Did they know they were supposed to be here?
Scott. Should have here by now.
Yeah.
I got a hold of Pam Meadows for the time clock bus. This one is a little different than the last one. The last time I had quoted an actual time clock. I thought for the Road and Bridge Department that might be the easiest way to transition. I think we can do it a little more accountable to the finances if we just put a computer up there. I visited with dispatch, since they went to the 911, I thought maybe they would have some computers that they weren't gonna use anymore, and they do. So I said, I want those computers. The $8,000,
$8,615.
right, and then the $2,000 is an annual subscription fee, which I know the EMS department had
This is the subscription fee, 27.
on the back.
So that's additional.
That's an annual. And I know Aldatech, we have a subscription fee that is 1,000 something just for one department for a time accounting system. So I think they're in line with that. And if we can get some computers that people, have replaced, just to put the system on, you could save some money.
Rodney.
I have no problem with that.
I mean, there's nothing to do.
Upon your approval, I will take that back to CIC and they will create an exhibit, an actual exhibit to be signed. But this is
As long
just
as
a
we're
proposal.
covered on that world.
Area of IT, what are your thoughts on it?
It's a contract.
We gotta do
Well,
something.
it's just a quote right now. She said they would send an actual.
Right.
I think it was about 12,000. It wasn't over 15.
So that, essentially the time clock itself was 7,000, is that?
Basically,
81,
81, I think.
and that includes the training and the setup and the whole
I
nine.
mean, if we'd have went with the first proposal, that included the time clock.
Oh, yeah, that included a time
Okay.
I
clock.
think you're
I
right.
took that time
Well,
clock
a
out
long distance
and
is good.
replaced,
If I'm
and I told
yes,
Penn Meadows,
sure.
we would like to go with just computers to log in rather than a time clock. So the software they would put on the computer and you would just log in through your computer.
So the only concern I'd have, and I'm just speaking for other departments, mainly Dave's, because it's gonna affect him greatly, is if he has to provide internet to those outlying landfill shop and the other shop, who's gonna pay for that? I mean, that's gonna be a question he's gonna wanna know.
Yeah. We do have to provide internet service. There were 4, the landfill, the shop in St. Francis, the landfill or the shop in Bird City, and then the janitor, which we have internet service here at the courthouse. That won't affect it so much. But even providing internet service, it was cheaper than an actual time clock.
Right. I agree. Just a matter of where it's gonna come from.
Right.
I mean, I think the lowest, you're looking at $40 a month probably for a 1 meg connection.
Bird City, all you can get's Eagle.
Scott thought it was at 9. He's on his way.
Oh,
Bird City, all you can get over there is Eagle.
Yeah.
So, and I know that's about 120, 30. I think that's what I'll pay.
Well, you're paying too much.
Well, I think my TV's hooked in on it
I
too.
think you might be right. Yeah, I think,
But I mean, I'm sure there's probably something cheaper than that.
well, I think those guys over there like TV.
I bet Dave's gonna holler about that.
We're not gonna tell Dave.
They will.
Oh. Okay.
Information on that.
If you guys want it, I think we need it.
I do too.
In the past,
I'll make a motion that we accept this proposal for time and attendance equipment and software in the amount of $8,615.
and the contract for 2021.
And the contract over.
this
Oh,
subscription
okay.
software.
And so that's an additional
Yes.
cost.
That's an annual fee.
Subscription, 2,000,
Mhm.
okay. So the total cost would be $10,725.
I'll say.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. And we had done this in the past, but we backed out of the price, but we had some optimism. So
have you guys just initial that you approved it today.
What do you? what
Just
do you want?
initial, sign it or initial it, and just pass it back down.
Say it's your fault.
We do have some NRP contracts to sign. This is the Neighborhood Revitalization Program.
Here, disperse these down so we have- look at this in all of this. Then you can give this.
This kind of seems backwards to me. Actually, this has already been done, and all we're doing is signing it after the fact.
Well, that's how a rebate works though, right?
I don't know.
You done with that?
Good morning, I apologize.
Good
That's
morning.
fine.
How's everybody?
Good, and you?
Great.
Can I see those other ones?
How you doing? Good morning.
Hi, how are you?
Great. How you, Karen?
Thank you.
Good.
I'll need signatures on all of these.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Do we need a motion on this?
Yeah, we'll need a motion to accept them. We can go ahead, I haven't looked through them all, so let's wait until after Scott, if that's okay.
Okay, we can hold the motion until
Yes.
Scott's done. Okay, here. So, just, we can't forget to do that.
I will.
Okay, good morning. As you can see there, our volume for January, our outpatients are up, which is going to be nice because as of January, our Medicare Part B reimbursement is coming up from 57%. So that will be a timely increase in reimbursement for Medicare with that bump in our outpatient volume. Although still lower than November. December was super slow. You can see there. I included those numbers from the last 2 months as well, just so you guys can see. The inpatients as well remained down in December. We only had 11, so that's significant. Emergency room has stayed consistent. It's 160s there. And our rural health clinic also has stayed reasonably steady. December actually, conversely to our number of inpatients, was high at 615. And with all the holidays and everything else, I was very pleased in that regard for the number of people we were able to get to in December. Surgeries, we had half as many as we did in December, but along with the averages as well as our specialty clinic. So that was our volume for January. You know, I report that each time. Just a couple notes here. When we look at our totals for 2015, I did want to pass along just some key indicators. With regard to our acute state bed days, we ended up with 277 fewer inpatient days than 2014, and 341 fewer days than 13. So that alone, just the 277 inpatient days, just when you look at our daily swing bed rate is over a $600,000 difference just from 14. Not to mention all of the associated outpatient procedures that those inpatients drive. Lab, CT, PT, a lot of 5-year loads. And then our tolls for the rural health clinic were at year's end as low as they've been since 2009. There were some silver linings. Cardiopulmonary, ultrasound, echo, x-ray were all relatively high just compared to years past, and obviously having brought on labor and delivery, we saw this increase in the number of newborns. So as we scrutinize last year and looked at this year, we certainly have been intentional with regard to solidifying our strategic plan for this year. The team has identified 4 key pillars that we're going to be focusing on this year. Finance, certainly, quality, community, and just working on our teamwork between not only in the hospital but across the street at the clinic as well. I am encouraged. It appears as though we're going to finally be able to connect the dots with regard to Dr. Meyer and Dr. Cases, who will be coming out to this area. Still trying to they are trying to decide if they're going to be going to Benkelman and St. Francis or St. Francis and Colby, but it doesn't appear as though in a month we'll start having orthopedic criminology, assuming that we can get their credentialing through, which there's no red flags in that regard at all. So that's encouraging. Certainly want to tip my hat to Wendy White, who's done a great job getting the grant with the United Methodist Health Ministry Foundation underway. For January, she had 12 patients that their goal was to ultimately get to 35. And as you recall, that's the care coordination piece.
I have a question on that. When this grant was brought before us last year, I believe we were supposed to reimburse $49 per patient that was seen by the individual that would be hired for
Per
this job.
month. That was Medicare was willing to pay a once-a-month stipend. It wasn't per visit. And I can get you the exact number. It was around $40, so I don't know if it was 49 exactly.
Okay. That was per month or per visit? Is that how it went?
It was per month. Medicare was willing to provide reimbursement for that care coordination entity.
And that comes back to the
Per
county?
month. Yeah,
Okay. Okay, yeah, I'd like to see that.
sure. I'll break that down for you and get you something printed out. I mean, if you use stage 1 attestation is complete, and we'll continue that extensive reporting going forward. That'll get more stringent as we progress into meaningful use stage 2, but certainly nice to have gotten that first attestation out of the way. And then on the personnel front, Renee has turned in her resignation. She'll no longer be our director of nursing, so we're looking to fill her position. That will be a significant departure. She'll be still picking up shifts, but no longer be our director of nursing. And Heidi, have we seen any reimbursements so far for the care coordination the stuff that is done? I don't think any of that money has flowed. Obviously,
Well,
we
if
just
it-
got it
if
started.
it's- Yeah,
So-
it takes time, I know that.
How's the veteran program? Is it going?
I haven't got any specific updates. I know that it's being utilized. I can't give you how many veterans have come through the facility as a result of the
We have a
expanded.
lot more veterans in the county than a lot of people
I
realize.
think it's really neat that you guys have done.
That's a good program.
It is.
All of our providers are registered being too. So, to my understanding, and I'll follow, all of our providers should be accessible through the Veterans Choice Program.
I have one other question. Your strategic plan, is that actually like a budget plan for this year? Is that?
It's basically, it's not, the budget is separate from the strategic plan, but one of the key areas of the strategic plan is finance. So as a group, we looked at ways that we could cut costs, certainly, expand revenues, just offer a strategic perspective and pinpoint emphasis areas that will obviously be advantageous from a financial perspective, but the budget itself is not included in that strategic plan.
Do you think on that Senate bill, do you think that's going to come along?
It hasn't
Talking
moved
about
yet.
316.
It's been referred to committee, but it hasn't been set for any hearings or anything yet. And, I mean, the one thing I will say is, with the school finance ruling coming down, last week, the focus is a little different in Topeka than it was a couple weeks ago. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. But it has not moved in committee at all.
There is a bill in the Senate right now that's going to prohibit counties from increasing the ad valorem tax beyond the cost of living or the CPI index from the year prior, which last year was 0, which means we could not increase for any reason next year's budget. And that's going to affect every department in the county. So any changes that are made in next year's budget would have to be done internally. We find a savings someplace, we have a need elsewhere, they're going to have to be offsets. And it's going to be a tight year this year to figure out what we're going to do. The hospital, I think by statute, has to have your budget to us by 1 June.
That's not Senate Bill 316 then you're talking about, the
Yes.
other one that okay.
That's the one that's,
I'll get you the numbers.
they deferred that because of the holiday or something?
It's gonna change a lot of things.
So you're saying at first blush, anticipate the budget to be consistent?
Straight line right now. This is, I'm only one man, but that's my opinion. In your last meeting, I think Les mentioned that he thought there was authority for 12% or 12 mills.
That's what you mentioned.
Ryan Murray and I looked at the books in the clerk's office, and we did find a resolution, but it was never put to a vote. If it was put to a vote, it never got logged in the books.
If it would have been a vote, it would have been in the
It would have been a
abstract.
special question,
Right.
so
We
right
have-
now, we're limited to 6 mills. At least, that's the way I look at it.
Yes.
Just to give you perspective on what we're going to be facing later in the year.
And basically, I mean, nothing's happened on that bill yet. I think what Rodney's saying is just he's planning on a worst case scenario in case it actually does pass out of the legislature. But like I said, it hasn't even been set for a hearing yet out of committee, so.
Scott, did you have anything else?
No.
I appreciate you guys coming in.
Yeah.
And the numbers will be
All right. Anything else from you guys?
cool. Any questions?
No.
Thank you.
Appreciate the information.
Yeah, I'll give, yes, it's a weekday.
Okay, 50 break.